right along with the Christmas cookies here, and we're moving on to the holly sprig. So I have my green fondant already rolled out. Got my cutter here. Make sure again, just like all the other cookies, that you have a nice clean cut. Right there I've got a little bit of a frayed edge, so I'm just gonna clean that up. And we'll just attach with a little bit of water. Use a smaller brush. Okay, flip that over. Bring it all closer to me. And smooth that out. So the next thing I'm going to do is take my veining tool and just do the veining on this. This one's a really simple one. It's great to fill in. Some of the others obviously are take a little bit more time. This one's pretty quick, so it's nice to have those fast ones in there too that you can just pop out. You know, these are the ones for the, you know, maybe work or whatever that you really didn't want to spend a lot of time on. Yeah, I said it. Oh my gosh, she just said that? Yeah, I said it. So I'm just gonna take the small end of the veining tool here, and I'm gonna start at the base here, and I'm just gonna pull up, just very lightly. On these end ones, I'll just kind of curve it a little bit with the shape of the cookie. And then from the center, I will just curve out to each of the little points there on the end. So this one has 3, do that 3 times. Here, going out to that one, that point. Very easy. This cookie is actually almost done. Can you believe it? Quick. All right, and then if your fondant has dried at all and it's making any little creases, then just kind of smooth that out as you go. Even right here, I can go back over that little area, but we are gonna have some berries there. Okay, so for the berries, I'm actually gonna use a mold here. This is one of my Susan Carberry Designs molds. It's for raspberries. And I am just gonna take a little bit of the red fondant, knead it up a tad bit, press it into one of the little openings. And this one's pretty easy to use. You can actually just, as long as you flex it enough, like this, you flex it and push from behind, you can actually just pop it right out. So there I've got several different designs there. If you have any problems getting those out, you know, if you're distorting it when you're pulling them out or anything, you can fill all the cavities, pop it in the freezer for a few minutes, pop them out, they won't get distorted, let them air dry, and then they're ready to go. Okay, they'll just come back to room temperature. All right, so you can use these like right away, like this one, still soft, I can put it on, or you can let them dry a little bit and then attach them with royal icing. The ones that were just made, which most of these were just made, I can just use water to attach them. So there's 1, 2, and I'll put my 3rd one. And see how you can even kind of lean them up against each other, kind of cluster those. Like that. There we go. And then I am going to take a paper towel, place my cookie on top, like that. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the dusting powder. So this is the gold dusting powder. I'm going to take a flat brush, and I am just going to dry brush the edges a little bit. Just add a little gold around those edges. Okay, so I always brush from the outside in. When I do that, that will give you more color on the outer edge and a little less as you come in. And then after I do the dry brushing, then I can go ahead and pour some lemon extract in this and dust my berries a little bit. And then we can even add a little bit of writing to this. You could pipe on these with royal icing if you wish. I'm actually going to use the FMM tablets, which I have out here. All right, so just put a little lemon extract, small brush, and I am just going to lightly go over the top of the berries, not completely covering them, just kind of light here and there. Okay, like that. Okay, and then we could go to the writing. Let me move this out of the way a little bit. Leave that there. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna write joy. Works out perfectly for the pieces of holly there. And these are the FMM tappets. Woo! All right, so this is, most people have a love-hate relationship with these, but once you know how to use them, then you will love them, okay? So what you do, one of the tricks is that you need to roll out your fondant or gum paste fairly thin. They actually do work better with gum paste than they do with fondant, but I use them with fondant all the time. You want to make sure that you can actually move your piece of fondant. So I'll put a little cornstarch. It needs to be able to move like that. And I've had this actually rolled out and it's been drying just for a few minutes. Not long, not too long, because if it's too long and I go to cut it, they'll crack and they won't look good. So it's kind of a happy medium there, not too soft, not too firm, right in the middle, just right, okay? So I cut it into strips so that I can take this and go across this way, and you want to cut, and you want to be able to do that, okay? Move it around like that. Then I'll lift it up, and then I'll just take my thumb and make sure I've got a nice clean cut all the way around. And then what you do is you actually tap it like that and see how it just pops right out. You're probably like, oh, I've used those before and they don't just pop out. Yep, right here, right in front of you. You just got to do it the right way. Okay, so I'll just do another one in a different letter just so you don't think it's, you know, a setup and it's that letter. So there's that one. Oh, and it broke. Maybe it is a setup. All right, so it might be drying out a little bit much, but let's try it again. Okay, it doesn't work every single time, but it does work. So here we go. Sometimes you have to help it along. All right, but there's that one. And then you just be careful when you're kind of getting it back to the right side. Twisting it, there we go. And there's, and so the writing on these, it's really, you know, I love using them because it's just perfect writing, but you can also just do it with royal icing. Okay, so I will take my letters that I've pre-cut here, a little bit of water, and just pop those on. That one right in the middle. One more, and then this cookie is finished. Oops. I might have to cut another one. I broke that. Let's see if I can put it back on without it looking like it seemed, then we'll be okay. If not, then I'll have to cut another one. Okay, there we go. There's our finished cookie in the fondant style. And then now I'm going to show you how to do it in royal icing. So we've already piped royal icing. It's dry. We're ready to go. We're actually going to do the same thing with the gold. So I'll just take some of that, brush it around the edge. Now I've got water in there, so I'll have to use a little bit. Not water, lemon extract, so I'll have to use a little bit from the jar here. Okay, so as long as the royal icing is dry, you can still use all the dusting powders and things on the royal icing, which people don't really think to do. But I really think that color is very, very important. I kind of wish that I had taken an art class when I was younger. I guess I could still do it now, but I don't really have time. But color is really, really important in learning how to layer colors and things of that sort. I think it makes you a really good decorator. That and floral design too helps a lot. Okay, so I've got that. Now instead of doing the berries, why don't we just go with something easier? We're going to use these little sugar pearls. And I'm going to use some bright green royal icing. Get this out of the way. So I will just do the veining with this instead of how I did it with that. And this time I'm going to go from the stem outward. So what can you do with that? Just wipe that off with a brush. There we go. And then out from the center here. I have my royal icing be a little thinner. It's a little step. There we go. Okay, from the center out, I'm just going to curve. So these I'm actually going the opposite direction I did the others. Doesn't really matter. as far as I'm curving this way towards the front. All I have to do is add the little berries and connect those dots a little bit better, and it will be done. Back here, I can always go back over this with the paintbrush and kind of clean up a little bit, and I'll just do a little bit more royal icing here so that these will stick, and we will just cluster 3 right on top of each other, and this one is finished. So like I said, I will go ahead and I'll clean up a little bit of the lines and a little of the excess royal icing there, but that is how simple that one is.